adventure on, and we thought we'd take you on a drive with us. We are on 89A, just out of Sedona, and this is the Oak Creek Canyon Scenic Drive. We did it earlier this week by mistake.
With the camper.
Pulling the camper, and when you watch this video, you will see why it was a little nerve-wracking. We were coming from the opposite direction. Today we are leaving from Sedona and heading up to Oak Creek, and we'll make the return trip as well. But on the way, it was downhill, hairpin turns, pulling the teardrop.
And the neighbors that we ran into at the campground we were coming from said, yeah, it's a beautiful drive, but you might not want to do it with, towing. And we're like, oh yeah, we're going to totally stay away from that.
Well, we mixed up 89A with 17. We got confused on which one had the hairpin turns, and I thought we were supposed to stay off of 17. Well, I was wrong. Oops.
But she did a great job. But she didn't get to see any of the scenery, so we're like, might as well take another drive up there today so you can see the scenery, and we're not towing anything, which is helpful.
Yes. And it's nice that the speed limit is nice and low.
Like 35, I think it is.
35 at some points. It's 15 miles per hour.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's quite a drive.
It's stunning. I give Sue all kinds of credit for making it through. I mean, she had to. There was no other option, but...
Yeah, there's no place to turn around.
But I would not have been able to do it. I would have needed to find the first pull-off and been like, we got to just leave the camper here because I can't do it. So we've had some interesting adventures on this trip. We went through the Rockies, which was fun.
Not.
We went through... What else did we do? There was something else where we're like, damn, this is like terrible too. What was it?
Was it one of the off-road trails?
Maybe. I don't know, but it was with the camper. I don't know.
With the camper?
But we're like, God, what are we doing to ourselves? And then, again, this one we hit by accident. And it was beautiful. And it is beautiful, as you can see. But, yeah, it was something for sure.
Yeah. Very scenic. But white knuckle driving.
So what did we do this morning?
This morning we went to Soldiers Pass. We went and saw the 7 sacred pools and the sinkhole that was there. We hiked a little bit beyond. I wanted to get to the arch and the cave, but I guess that's really off the trail some ways.
Like over the mountain, somebody told us.
Somebody said, yeah, it's on the other side of that mountain.
We're like,
So we decided to head back, but we'll have a short video on our YouTube channel of that as well.
And then we decided to go get some lunch at Famous Pizza and Beer.
And it was good. It's pizza by the slice. I mean, you can order a whole pizza as well, but they had outdoor seating, which is really what we were looking for. Outdoor seating and pizza.
And I didn't have a beer because A, it wasn't tap beer, and B, I knew I would be driving this, and I just didn't want any type of impairment on this drive.
The cars that you see along the side of the road, those are all people finding parking for the hiking trails that are up in here. Up here a ways is the West Fork Trail, which runs along a river, and it's supposed to have stunning sheer walls on both sides. The parking lots are usually full first thing in the morning when the gates open, and yes, there are gates at the trailheads. So
Who knew?
Who knew?
We got up at 5:30 because we're like, we're going to hit the trail at 6 o'clock because it's so effing hot here.
So we wanted to start when it was nice and cool out.
And it was nice and cool. It was only like 58.
Yeah.
It was nice.
But the gates open at 8, and they fill up quickly, and hence why you end up with people parked along the side of this road, which honestly I wouldn't want to do.
Oh no.
I wouldn't want to walk on the side of this road to get to the trailhead, or try to get my car back into traffic when you can't see what's coming from behind.
No, definitely not. Like, this is... I mean, I know there's pull-offs here, but I'm not feeling it. Like, I don't know. It seems like it'd be really hard to get back on. Because, as you can see, there's quite a bit of traffic. And there's quite a line of, I don't know, maybe there's 2 or 3 cars behind me, but amount of cars behind me, but enough where I think it'd be really tedious and annoying to try to pull out because of the curves as well. And you just don't know, who's coming and if they're coming fast or, if they're abiding by the speed limit. So we've been staying at a campground outside of town.
Lolo-Mai Springs Campground.
And the river or the creek that it's on.
Yeah, it's Oak Creek, and I think this is also Oak Creek that's running along the right side of us as well.
Yeah, because this is Oak Creek Canyon. Is lovely. We did a walk in the river down from one end of the campground almost all the way to our campsite. But the campground is fine. It's nothing special. However, if you are towing, just be very careful in their driveway literally down to the campground, because the pitch is not a big deal or the grade is not a big deal, but the road is
And they put in speed bumps.
terrible. Yeah, and they put speed bumps in. And so, the Jeep is not the softest of rides anyway, but I'll tell you, this thing is rocked back and forth every time we've come and gone out of that. So it's like off-roading.
It's like off-roading with the trailer.
Yeah. And so it's going to be fine, but, we're already having that moment of panic of bringing the trailer out of there tomorrow. And again, it's going to be fine. It's just that feeling of, jostling your insides from side to side as you go over these rough roads and then going uphill. It's a little, I don't know, I'm not that excited about it. So.
But it will be fine. Our teardrop is a boondock. It's made to off-road a bit, but that's all relative.
And I would say that, again, the campground is fine, but if you need Wi-Fi or you hope to have a cell signal, the Wi-Fi, you're only going to get it just by the camp store. And we have Verizon, and we do not have a signal at our campsite, and it's not that far from the actual store. So just know that I don't know, maybe other services are better, but Verizon has not really worked for us at this campground.
There are other campgrounds in the area. We just weren't able to get into any of them because they are booked.
Plus, we booked late because we made the decision to take our trip late. So.
But the thing is, I haven't seen any of those other campgrounds.
No.
Some of them said they're walking distance from Sedona, like right across the street. And I have not seen signs for them, so
No.
I cannot confirm or deny that they are there.
I know, I haven't either. The only thing that I've seen in Sedona, and Sue, you might have seen it too, is that trailer park.
Yes.
Have you seen it? And every time we go by, I'm like, ooh, I bet the city of Sedona would do anything to get rid of this trailer park. Because it's definitely not anything that I think Sedona wants to be equated to. Like, it's old. It's definitely old.
And if you come out here and you're heading out to places, please make sure you give yourself plenty of time because they have a lovely series of roundabouts and traffic coming from all directions, so it will increase your time to get places. So if you're going out for dinner, give yourself a little extra time to get there.
Going out for a hike, give yourself some extra time to get there. Coming back from a hike, it was terrible yesterday. I was like, I'm never coming back to Sedona after that. And I know, we're here on a weekend, so I get it. It's like a weekend destination. But man, I wish they had some better traffic control just overall, where they'd say, hey, like a sign, take this alternate route, or I don't know. I said to some people, I feel like we sat in traffic more than we actually did anything yesterday, which is,
also where the 2014 slide fire began. So along this way, if you see, there's burnt out patches of trees up on, I'm going to say the mountainside, the cliffside. That's remnants of the slide fire. But apparently it's a very popular state park.
And if anybody knows the answer to this, I would be grateful. Like, I cannot figure out for the life of me. So we've been to a couple of different spots now where the tree bark looks like it has burned. And I'm like, how do these trees survive? Like, I don't get it. Like, when we were up at Arches, or Zion, not Arches, Zion, they had all those trees on the side that, no, Bryce Canyon, sorry, that had a lot of burnt bark, but they were still living. And I'm like, wow, how did that happen? So, if anybody knows, post a reply, let us know. This guy's trying to turn into a road that says do not enter. Oh,
I'm thinking some of these trees are a bit fire resistant. I know there's certain type of pines that there actually has to be a fire in order for them to reproduce. At least that's the way it is in Wisconsin.
I don't know. Sorry, I was watching.
I'm thinking they're jack pines. Jack pines need fire in order to reproduce.
I don't know. I just think it's interesting.
It is. I think all these people are trying to get into the state park.
We did decide today, we're like, we'll come back, but we're gonna come back like early spring. I don't know. So we were supposed to come over here over spring break this year, and of course
COVID hit.
Literally COVID hit, like, and everything shut down about a day before we were supposed to get on our plane. So we didn't get to come out here, obviously, and that's okay. But just lots of people here are very hot right now. So, I know my limits as far as heat is concerned. I think spring would probably be better.
Yeah.
So.
We expected temperatures in the 70s, and instead, right now it's 88. And we're just coming into the hottest part of the day here, which is usually between about 2 and 5. 5 o'clock it starts to cool off nicely. But then it also gets dark at about 6:15, 6:30.
And we're also going up in elevation, so that's probably helping the heat, obviously, to stay at a cool 88 degrees. I'm sure it's warmer in Sedona right now. This guy, I would never park like that.
No, I'm sorry, I won't.
We could. I mean, the Jeep would allow us to, but I'm not doing that. Doesn't seem very safe to me. So I was thinking today about, and I don't think I even shared this with Sue because I'm not sure when I thought about it. Like, we're not the typical Jeep owners. Like, we'll do some stuff. We did a little off-roading, but and to be clear, we don't have the ability to air up and air down. Like, that makes a huge difference. But I'm like, man, I'm not going down this path, or I'm not doing this thing.
I think that has a lot to do with this needs to get us home.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you're right. That's true. I don't even think we would, I don't know, like, yeah, this is like one of our daily vehicles, so, I don't know, I've been watching the Jeeps everywhere we go, and I'm like, I know there are some people that just like to have a Jeep, and there's people that like to have the Jeep because they like to do all the crazy stuff with it. Like, look at this tires on this one. And this guy lives in his Jeep, check that out. But we're just not those people.
I'd agree.
But that's okay. We did hopefully you've already seen the videos. We did some pretty cool 2 or 3 off-roading trips when we were in Moab. Right? Moab.
We did.
Did we do any Page? I don't think we did.
No, we did not do any. We did some gravel roads in Page, but they weren't.
Yeah. where we're like, man,